All right. And we are live.
Food Court, the movie podcast, and Twitch stream where Sean
and John
and Michael
watch shit, talk shit, and most importantly, eat shit. Is John really timed off weirdly?
Something weird just happened.
Oh, well,
Uh-oh.
that doesn't mean we're not going to have the greatest night of our life.
I don't even think we finished the intro.
We listen, we don't have to get all the way through the intro just to have a show, but we are the law.
That's true.
Aren't we?
We are, yes.
We are.
Hello, welcome, John, Michael, I'm Sean.
Hi.
Welcome to, if you're listening, welcome. If you're watching, welcome. And if you are us, the three of us, welcome. Michael, first of all, I need to know something important.
Okay, yes.
How are you? I never ask that anymore, and now more than ever, I need to know.
I think you don't ask because it makes podcasts bad to ask.
No, I have to ask. John, how are you?
Oh,
no,
wow.
No, it makes the podcast bad if you do this.
Okay.
You're asking.
Wait, if I ask or if you answer?
Ooh, that's a good
maybe
question.
I'm making the podcast bad by pointing out that what you're doing is making the podcast bad.
Yeah, you just put something in between, you know.
Are we inverted or incepted now?
We
Are we
reverted.
prolapsed?
Yeah.
We are. I think we are. What is when you get backwards in time, but you're like a black guy in an outfit fighting a black guy in like a suit.
I don't know.
That's inverted. Okay, that's inverted. We are inverted.
Incepted is the same thing but with a white guy.
There's
good.
There's white
Not as
people
good.
and then there's inverted people.
Is that what happened?
Yeah, I'm half inverted. It's crazy.
Did he go all the way back in time to the cradle of civilization?
Ooh.
We're talking, of course, about Tenet. Not tonight. Tonight we're talking about Psycho Goreman,
Psycho.
which, based on the pre-show chatter, is going to be divisive, which should be fun.
Yeah.
We're gonna yell at each other. I'm gonna say, John, you fucking piece of shit. And
I called Michael and just told him to let it all out.
Yeah, I was like, I thought it was some, heart to heart, but it was just like, hey, just be mean. I was like, okay, sounds good.
Well, I don't know if the kill donkeys out there know this, but Sean Cutt's an imposing figure.
Yeah, he's
both
tough.
in the physical realm and in just
digital.
He's just he looms large over our every thought. It's kind of Michael and I have been cyberbullied by Sean
many times
for the past few months, years.
What did
Michael
I do?
close to a decade, and
Yeah.
I did, so we're taking back the night on this show.
Okay.
Yes, we are.
Take it back.
Unless Sean and I agree, and then you're dead. Me.
Yeah, you can just kill me. Both of you.
We're gonna shoot. Can you shoot bullets through the internet yet, Michael?
Yeah,
It must be the internet.
for minorities, they're gonna roll that out slowly for the rest for the white people. But
I'm gonna come through the screen like Ghost Dad.
yeah.
Oh, I'm
Dang.
gonna come through the screen like Leonard Part 6.
Ooh.
Oh, nice. I'm gonna come through the screen like Lawnmower Man.
I'm gonna come through the screen like Samara from The Ring. So
I'm gonna come through the screen like Videodrome.
ooh.
Wow.
I participate.
Think of no other references.
Yeah.
I'm gonna come through the screen like Poltergeist.
Ooh, that's a really good one.
Dang.
And on that note,
I'm gonna come through the screen like a movie that rips off all other movies, Psycho Goreman.
I'm gonna come through the screen like the Na'vi in James Cameron Avatar in 3D.
Did that happen?
Yeah.
Did they come through the?
Yeah, 'cause of the 3D.
Goggles, yeah.
Ooh,
Oh.
Wow, you went next level.
Yeah.
About the physical sensation of a Na'vi entering your field of vision.
Yeah. Oh.
3-dimensionally.
Can we talk about how they tangle their hair to have sex?
That's some good shit, right?
That's
Want
wild.
to?
I'd love to do that. Anyways.
I mean, okay. Before we talk about Psycho Goreman, I have to say this. If you were James Cameron
Uh-huh.
and you were like, what if I just did a movie that's all my other movies, but like in the forest? And then you were just James Cameron, so you'd be talking to yourself. You'd be like,
Yeah.
that sounds great, James. And then you'd be like, well, what if it cost like $500 billion or something? You know, just like
Ooh.
an insane amount of money. And he'd be like, well, James, he's looking in the mirror. James, you're going to make all that money back. You cannot make a failure. You're going to make $500 billion.
It's true.
Psycho Gorman. We watched it, and the plot is as follows. John.
Fuck you, absolutely not.
You can do it. You're special.
We believe in you. We believe in you.
I can't believe this is happening. So He-Man.
Yeah.
First we start and it's like a Nerf gun commercial.
Yes.
It's like children playing laser tag with balls, and it's shot like a goddamn Sunny Delight commercial.
Absolutely.
Very accurate.
Somehow end up digging up a He-Man figurine, life-size He-Man figurine.
I remember. I know exactly how they end up digging up a He-Man thing.
The loser at Gag Ball has to bury themselves alive.
That's insane.
This is not going to be good, guys. This is not going to be a good. This is not going to be a good summarization.
Oh gosh!
And they pull up a cross between a He-Man figurine and the Guyver.
Ooh.
Yes, starring sort of Mark Hamill.
Sort of.
And then they have the shockingly not autistic girl does get control of the Guyver via a
gemstone,
like the Vision's like head gem,
yes,
like a talisman, an amulet, and then is able to guide the demon fighting through the travails of suburbia, and then fight other He-Man figurines.
Yes.
Or Masters of the Universe inspired Starship Last Starfighter characters.
Yes.
Mos Eisley Cantina rejects. And then, a la every Guardians of the Galaxy DC movie, it becomes like about family, and there's like a Spielbergian divorce theme, I think. And then it swiftly it just ends suddenly. It ends very suddenly with a couple of like it has like a good last ending gags. So he has to fight his own the other figurines. He has to fight the other Mattel figurines.
That's and like 30 minutes before the end.
There were Canadian accents.
Yeah.
And I think there was one actor in it. There was an actor.
There was
played the father.
Yeah. He's an actor.
Did we get there?
I think you summarized the entire thing. There's nothing you missed out. Nothing at all.
No, you got everything. May I say one thing? I think I'm going to be the only one here to defend things. So
I enjoy some. Go ahead, Sean.
Okay. No, well, I think the Guardians of the Galaxy / Spielbergian thing is making fun of that trope, right?
While doing a better job of it than Guardians of the Galaxy does.
Yeah, that's kind of funny.
They pull it off better than Guardians of the Galaxy, even though it's a little girl who loves
this is not a bad movie, and I don't regret its existence. It's just this movie has a few things at its core that make it. I'm not interested in it. I don't want to watch it. I could have watched this with you guys and us talk over it and had fine background fodder. But I can't really do like the Stranger Things nostalgia porn, really. Like it's not in me. So it just didn't resonate as a film. And then it's also like very poorly shot.
Yeah, it doesn't feel cinematic in any way at all.
We shot it. And we suck at shooting.
No, I mean, I was gonna say it feels like a YouTube sketch that goes on way too long. You're just like, all right, this is like stupid. But on the contrary side, and along with Sean, resident Killdonkey, Chad Ryden said, I loved every minute of this movie with all my heart, and that he immediately texted his nephews and told them they have to watch it right now.
This is a great movie for nephews.
Yeah.
Sure.
Maybe the perfect nephew movie.
Little nephew.
Hey, little nephew.
Especially if little nephew is like allowed to see a little eensy bit of violence.
Yeah, there you go.
This is like this is the one that'll push him right over the edge into the gore porn that we love around these parts.
Yes. Then they'll be watching.
Sean and I love around these parts, and Michael abhors.
Yeah, I abhor. I abhor.
Do you hate it?
Abhor it. I wanna do what they do in those movies to people who love it.
Whoa, that's next level. So you are coming out. Wait, are you going into the movie, or you are coming out of the movie to kill the people who love the movie?
I'm coming in, and then I'm coming out.
Nice.
Wow, straight then gay.
Like Tom Noonan in Last Action Hero.
Yes. That's a fun one, huh? I would rather watch that than this movie.
Last Action Heroes.
I think it's pretty
good. I mean, it also has Shane Black and fucking McTiernan. Double threat.
Hasn't that movie been critically? Ask the Kill Donkeys if that has Last Action Hero been critically reappraised. Seems like one of those movies that has been critically reappraised. I have no fucking idea.
It quite deserves it, but it's pretty good.
Yeah.
I only saw it as a child and was like, that's not, nope.
Yeah, it's been years.
Now, it is John McTiernan, so the action fucking kicks ass. But it is like when you picture Shane Black and John McTiernan right around the heights of both of their careers make a movie together, you think, oh yeah, but it is not that movie.
Are we sure it's Shane Black? So it definitely has like an autistic child then.
Yeah.
Okay.
Also,
I mean, on paper, it works. Like I love, Tom Noonan. I want to say Christopher Eccleston, but it's not Christopher Eccleston. It's the guy from Alien 3. What is his name?
Oh, I have
Alien Man.
That guy, yes.
He's in Alien 3. He's in Game of Thrones. This is embarrassing. We talk about him regularly.
Hard.
He's a very sexy older man. He's very good. He has
British version of the principal from Ferris Bueller's Day Off.
Yeah, he's like sexy Jeffrey Jones.
Yes.
In space in Alien 3.
Yes.
I'm gonna get his name. I'm gonna cheat.
Oh,
name.
that scared me.
Charles Dance.
There
Charles
you go.
Dance.
You were dancing around it for a while.
And it has Arnold like at the height of his powers, but
I don't
know, for some reason that movie a little bit like Psycho Goreman leaned on its ironic sense a little too much.
Yes.
Yeah. But that's
True Lies. That's a great one. But we can't talk about other movies.
Too bad.
At some point, we have to talk about this movie that we watched. As much as it pains Michael and John, we must talk about Psycho Goreman. And this is going to be the worst part for them and maybe the best part for me. Michael? Tell us your B-Flame hero of this picture. What was the best part of Psycho Goreman?
Besides the credits, let's see.
The opening credits?
The credits weren't even good. Let's do the euro I found in this.
You found it.
Let me look through my notes here. Yeah, I did like the part where she says like something to him. The little girl says to Psycho Goreman, she goes, You care for hunky boys, and he goes, I do not care for hunky boys. And then he looks at the magazine of the shirtless man, and he goes, or do I? And I thought that was kind of funny. I was like, okay, that's a good one.
Michael, I'm going to blow your fucking mind.
Oh, shit.
That's my favorite part, too. I think it's great.
That's great.
And I think there needs to be more shit like that in the movie. I have a few other things, but, John, drop some positive energy on this Psycho Goreman.
I enjoyed some of the references, whether they were effects or costumes to other movies, I enjoyed. There were moments of the film that really worked. It kind of like harkens to like He-Man and the Masters of the Universe, where it's like, man, some of this art design is really good.
Yeah.
They clearly didn't have the money to set this in this other world, so it's set here.
Yes.
But really, the problem with this movie, which we'll get to later, has to do with like why it was made, and the spirit of the movie itself is kind of what dooms the movie for me. But something that I liked about it, and this isn't often, this movie actually gets better as it goes on.
Yeah,
I think true. Because at first it's almost unbearable.
Yeah.
Especially if you're like very tired of something that I don't really go into things wanting to enjoy them ironically.
Yeah.
And if you're going into something where everything in it is to be enjoyed ironically, which I just don't think that works. Like,
no.
The reason trauma movies work, and they don't always work for me, those don't always work for me either, is that there's often something like very subversive about how they are made. And this is kind of like a trauma movie without any of that subversiveness. Now there is some like, wow, this is really violent and nihilistic at points, but that's like just society writ large at this point and doesn't really do anything for me. But I did think as it was going, the movie got better and better, and the gags, there were some good gags, and also the dad is excellent.
The dad is very good.
They had like one really awesome guy in this movie, and it was the dad, who kind of doesn't fit, but it's okay. He does it. It's like when Benicio del Toro rules in a movie. It's like, what fucking movie is this guy in? Yeah, it still works.
I sort of felt, this may be more references, but I sort of felt like he was one of those dudes from the Sonic commercials inside of this movie.
That's funny.
He's just like,
well, you fucking ruined it.
There you go. He's so great. He's really great. Funny, and he's like the only one who seems like he's trying to maybe live within the world and kind of meet it where it is, where he's like, well, if there's a Psycho Goreman, I can be pretty fucking weird, and I won't seem that weird because there's a goddamn Psycho Goreman.
Another hero, the toilet scene. That's a great scene.
Yes.
It's a really good gag. That's a strong gag.
That's
where the head keeps coming back.
Yeah.
Yes,
that was pretty good.
Psycho Goreman has been hurt in the woods, and he's trying to get the word out to Dad because he's got a truck. And he comes and he yells, "Come get me!" And then he disappears. And the dad goes, "Where are you?" And the screaming, light emitting head comes back and yells again.
And then rule of threes.
Yes. And then the dad goes, How do I get there?
Yeah, that's so silly.
The big head comes back. It's a very good bit.
Yeah, I like those screaming. It was funny.
Yes. I'm going to drop some positivity before we get negative. I got like 4 or 5 different things.
Damn.
One, very early on, we see Psycho Goreman's power as he gets this man trapped inside of himself, and his eyeballs are just infinitely rolling within the socket. And I like that
crazy.
horrible image of just his eyeballs rolling and rolling in the socket. And then he gets knocked over. Good.
It's like it's like playing the slots almost.
Yes.
Eyeballs. Yeah.
Doing. They're on whatever planet. There's a meeting of planet people. For some reason there's a planet, and they all have cool costumes. But there's one guy who is a brain inside of a ball.
Oh yeah.
But the brain has teeth. I just love that there are eyeballs and teeth like affixed to the brain itself. I love that. At some point, Psycho Goreman turns a cop into like a husk of a slave man. He destroys him with a video drone bit. He makes the gun.
Yeah, he's got the video drone hand, etc.
Yes. Yeah. And the cop still has a gun, and his life is hell. So he keeps trying to shoot himself, but he cannot kill himself. That is the hell on earth that Psycho Goreman has created for him. And it's wonderful. 2 more, and I'm out, and we can talk about negative stuff.
And you're out.
You're fucking out.
in it, I'm fucking out. You're
gonna fucking learn.
Yeah,
I'm gonna learn. They're in the woods. This is right before the big battle with all of his former buddies.
Yes.
And there are lots of silly, like Power Ranger characters out in the woods. But one is a bucket. It's like a robot that is a bucket of gore. It's like a bucket of heads and
it's like their Hellraiser guy. It's like a Hellraiser thing.
It's kind of like a Hellraiser thing.
And there's like a Return to Oz thing.
Yes. There's
every monster is like a different tribute.
Yeah.
Yes, there's one that's like kind of Kuroneko or some kind of Japanese horror movie.
Yeah.
But the bucket of gore guy, his weapon is that he just shoots blood on you, and it doesn't seem to do anything.
Evil Dead 2 homage.
Oh, damn. Yes.
But when he gets punched, he instantly starts to drain all the blood, and then he's dead. And I don't know how the nervous system works inside of the gore.
Not at all.
But I love it. Final positive thing, and then we can drop some negativity on this fucking piece of shit. This is the dad. They are inside the site, the only possible site that they can afford for a big battle, the inside of an abandoned building, and they bring back a bit from earlier where there's a bleeding TV, and the dad goes, "So this TV won't stop bleeding," and I love that. I love his line reading. Really, probably he is the best.
Yeah. Wait.
Ooh. Are you about to say something? You better not say something positive, Michael.
Oh, no, I've got no more. But the Kill Donkeys, Chad Ryden has some heroes. I just want to share them because I feel like they should be shared, if that's okay.
That's okay with me.
He liked when the dad said, "Don't even look at it; it hurts." I don't remember that part, but I'm sure it was
high five where they do a high five with Psycho Goreman, but Psycho Goreman, of course, is incredibly powerful.
Yeah.
Instantly breaks his hand with a compound fracture, and his bone is his arm.
Tiger Woods that arm.
Yeah.
Yes, R.I.P.
Oh, and I do like this line where Psycho Goreman says, you would be nicer if you were dead," which is, I like that line. That's really good. Yeah. Oh, and that soulless husk is just telling you what you want to hear. There's some good lines. I think my main thing is that, like, I feel like all of this works in like a comic or cartoon format, but just totally doesn't as live action. To me, I was like, this just doesn't work. But I don't know.
I like the kind of inherent goofiness of the weird rubber outfits and stuff. One of the things that was charming to me is that this kind of, it seemed, and I guess that's what it is, like the guy who directed it and wrote it is an effects guy.
Yeah.
And I can just picture him going, there's a bucket and it's filled with heads and shit, and there's blood, and there's there's one bad guy, and for some reason he has a bunch of tombstones on him, and he throws the tombstones at you, and then I picture him like drawing pictures, and I like that it feels like a nice handmade thing where he was like, "Oh, I want to do that, and then I want to do that, and then I want to do that." It feels like, to me at least, joyous.
Yeah.
At least in its creation, where he was like, "Oh, this will be fun, and that'll be great." That's the thing that kind of
I enjoyed watching this movie and enjoyed that this movie exists, and also enjoyed. But the reason I enjoyed watching the movie was not the movie itself, because I'm not a Kamen Rider or a Mighty Morphin Power Rangers enthusiast. But it made me think about. I'm sitting there and I'm like, why am I not enjoying this? This has the hallmarks of something I would enjoy. Evil Dead 2 is my favorite movies. I like, weird stuff like Buckaroo Banzai. Sure. Like, I should have enjoyed. I like low budget things. I like things where creativity and ingenuity takes precedence over budget. However, I don't like when a movie doesn't have the courage to be anything more than a series of jokes and references.
Yeah.
And homage upon homage upon joke, to where the layers of irony form like a crust over like a hollow center. And there was no real style to this movie. There was no real filmmaking to this movie. It was just like, these are good effect shots, these are good gags, the end.
Yes.
And it's just like, again, I would have enjoyed watching this movie with the Kill Donkeys.
Yeah.
I would have enjoyed watching this movie on, say, a Joe Bob Briggs late night thing.
Absolutely.
But this podcast is about the experience of going to the movies. And watching this movie by myself was not a great ride. It took me. I had to break it into two. Into two, which I almost never do with anything I enjoy. So,
that's
but I did think it got better as it went along. So,
yeah, I mean,
I probably had the ultimate experience because I watched it with former guest Gary Fletcher.
Ooh.
And like watching it with him, us having a fun time, and also I hate watching comedies alone.
Yeah.
Comedies are never funny alone, so it's nice to have a person who's like, there's something about being with a person, or at least being virtually with a person.
And in this case, a person stoned out of his fucking mind.
Yes. Stoned to the bone, blazed on...
Gassed up on goof gas.
Yes.
Goof gas.
And we were just having a good time, laughing, having a great time.
Well, that sounds great. I'd rather listen to y'all having fun, I think, because then I would have had more fun, probably.
Yeah, I think if you
Michael,
listen to us
what was your low man, Michael?
Yeah, just
well, I feel bad because I don't want to I'm sorry, Kill Donkeys. I know you love this. Like Chad said, he fell in love as soon as the opening crawl came on, and that's great.
I hit him.
But
discourse.
It was just like brutal. I did think it got better like as it went on, but I was like, Shudder is just trash. I was like, jeez, they call this a movie?
10 minutes in, 10 minutes in, I was kind of despondent.
Like
I was like, I can't believe I have to watch this whole goddamn movie.
I find kids like they're never good. Like it's so rare for a kid to be good, but the kids are horrible. Like it was so hard to watch. It's like the girl has nothing to her that's interesting, no charisma, just like the most bland person I've ever seen.
Oh,
the girl was better than the boy.
Yeah, which is like intense. I was like, jeez, this is rough. And I think to me the ultimate core. I guess I don't know if this is the low man. My low man is literally the use of friggin' and heckin' because I hate stuff like that. It's like internet nerd culture, and I do not jive with that. And I feel like this whole movie was made by people like that. And I'm sorry, it just does not work for me. I don't think it's funny or interesting. Like, what? Friggin' isn't funny. Sorry, it's not.
I also don't quite understand why it is like that. Because this is clearly an R-rated movie. You can't have this movie full of...
They kill a child, full props.
Yes.
Yeah,
he does.
Kill a couple children.
While eating ice cream, he shoots a laser. Blows up a kid. He also turns a child into a brain. Another year of the movie when a child gets turned into a brain and gets to stay a brain the whole time.
The brain.
It's just
there were choices like that I liked.
Yeah.
But yeah, it just... I don't know. And then with the practicals, I love practical effects, but it felt very much like people who are fans of practical effects but aren't great at it doing it. Oh. And that bothered me. I was like, ugh, they did not sell that. I'm sorry. I don't know.
Yeah, there was very little actual filmmaking, very little actually like trying to create an illusion that could be believed. It was all like, here's the strings of not only the effects, but also of the gags. And fuck, we're making a movie here, folks.
Yeah, that's true.
And to me, I need to have something, even if it's on the like tiniest, infinitesimally small level, something to latch onto and to believe in and to pull me in.
Yeah.
Like, Army of Darkness is fucking preposterous. And there's nothing other to believe in, except for... You're watching like incredible technique and filmmaking prowess from Sam Raimi that pulls you in. The storytelling is so strong that it pulls you in. And there's always like, these are motherfuckers in suits flailing in the woods.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a cool reference. Nice. This part where they're going into like the alien realm looks really cool, but that's, very fleeting. I'd be interested to see what these guys could do with even more time and money and ingenuity, perhaps, but I don't know if I could go down that path again with these guys, because kind of like what Michael said, it also was just sort of tonally off for me. It was very nostalgia pornographic, you know, and just it didn't have anything of itself to celebrate. It was all celebration of something that came before, and I just got very
true.
Now to its credit, I did enjoy it more as it went on, but I like Michael. As when the movie starts, I'm just like, fuck, I'm fucked. I'm fucked. I felt exactly like when Michael picked Scooby Doo 2. And it took like 6 tries to watch Scooby Doo 2, and I was just like, I can't believe I'm gonna have to do this.
Which
but then it picked up.
I admit that isn't a good movie, but I would still rather watch that.
Okay, I'm not that far gone on Psycho Goreman.
Wow.
I would watch that a million times.
That is
which
bold comment. Let's put that on the poster.
Yeah.
Michael Hampton of Food Court Movie Podcast says, I would rather watch Scooby-Doo 2 than watch Psycho Goreman.
Yeah. Sorry.
How about on the Scooby-Doo poster? Better than Psycho Goreman.
Better than Psycho Goreman. I mean, Psycho Goreman is a hot property amongst the internet nerd folk.
Hey,
that might be a big 2 thumbs up for Scooby-Doo 2.
Yeah. And I get it. Like, this isn't one of those movies where, like, you know how some movies when people like them, like, what is the movie about the Irish Hitmen?
Oh, Boondock Saints.
When you tell me you like Boondock Saints, you are an idiot. Or you were 13.
Yeah.
Those are like the things. If you tell me you like Psycho Goreman, I'm probably like, well, this guy is a pretty fun-loving guy who probably has like a rockabilly girlfriend or something.
Yes.
Like this guy is probably a really, you know, you can be a fucking genius in like Psycho Goreman. This movie has appeal. Like it doesn't. This isn't like this isn't a make it or break it movie. This is like Shawshank Redemption being your favorite movie. It's nothing like that. It's nothing patently offensive. I get why people like, you know, Stranger Things, Psycho Goreman, these things, but like it's just for me, it's just a little too much sweetness, a little too saccharine for me.
Yeah.
Interesting. I will tell you my low main, and this is the low main from the perspective of someone who liked it. There's a lot of shit that came really close for me. Like, there's a lot of shit that came close to ruining it for me.
Oh,
and like the stuff, like the Heckin stuff and the Frigg stuff, I could go without. I could completely go without that. A lot of the, like the wife and the husband arguing over stuff. I don't know what that. I mean, I think that is just like we need stuff in this movie.
Yeah, there you go.
Scenes? Does this movie need scenes? So it's like, well, I guess the wife and the husband will argue so that they can battle in the final battle. And even the brother sister stuff, where it's like, well, this is all of it is like, well, I guess at the end, 2 sides need to play this crazy ball game.
Yeah.
So we need to set up that there are adversaries.
Yeah.
So from the very moment, we must know that this sister is really irredeemable, completely irredeemable in all ways.
Yeah.
And the brother is just kind of a sad sack. You kind of feel sorry for him because he just shit beat at him all the time.
He was a Sean proxy.
Yes, absolutely. I think I'm more like what's the other guy? Aloysius. What is the other kid who gets turned into a brain?
Alistair.
He was what is the Big Bang Theory guy? He was young
Sheldon.
He was young Sheldon.
Sheldon.
Oh, they can't even fucking successfully make pop culture references anymore.
Yeah.
Somebody cancel me now. Sorry.
Cancel me.
We can't cancel you.
We can't.
Yeah, it's just like, despite liking it, I don't know if I would watch it again.
Oh, no way. But Chad said that we should watch it again in like a year, like all together, like a watch along.
I'm totally down for that. Like, it sounds like it sounds as if I dislike this movie stronger than I did. I actually had no problem with the gags or the story or any of that shit. My problem was just the central conceit is off for me. The spirit of it is off for me. Mm-hmm. I think there were things to admire. I just wish that they had tried to tell a story or tried to do something where it's kind of like Family Guy or The Simpsons now, where it's like when you just throw a million things at the wall and fucking hope something sticks. Like, it just doesn't work for me.
Yes, and
it
I don't even really know what the central conceit is. Is maybe one of the main problems. Like, okay, like a movie like Airplane or fucking Top Secret, where the, I mean, the central conceit is they are aping an entire form of movie. So, like,
yeah.
an airplane, the plane is going to go down, and the guy who used to be a pilot needs to be a pilot again, and that is the story. But they make that story work. Sort of. I mean, they make it work enough
Well,
for
in
the
Airplane,
gag to just
in
go
Hot
over.
Shots, that's where you're taking the gag.
Mm.
That's a gag writing movie where you're taking the thing that's being elevated is the gag writing.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's the through line that saves that. There's not, and honestly, when this movie is strongest, is when the gag writing is good.
Yes.
Like,
Absolutely.
I feel like the best parts of the movie, like the ending with the everything that has to do with like the intergalactic interstellar space council, is a good gag. Like
Yeah.
almost every time, and really like, and that's kind of they should have stuck with that weird Mystery Science Theater 3000 riff, which it was more so because, but they just don't get there because they don't really pick one thing and stick to it, and that's fine if they had found a way to make this a little more authentic and less like just a reference, homaging and another reference on top of it. It was just like a babushka doll that never, just nothing. You finally open it and you've got jack shit,
Yeah.
But I would love to watch a Stone Chan ride and watch this movie actually.
Yeah.
I think also the thing that pulls off a movie like this is, I mean, obviously, just it looking better is helpful. Like, that is one of the
Yeah.
good things about a movie like Airplane or something, is that it looks good, and also the music is amazing. I think one of those is Bernstein, and like the other one is the guy who did Dr. Zhivago. Like, it's like big time composers who are selling the shit out of the fake movie.
Yeah.
Like, they're making the
That's
fake movie real
And they're using
by,
great
like,
actors, and and that's just a resource that these guys didn't have. I don't really kill
yes,
them for that, but I mean they have Leslie Nielsen's an amazing actor. Like,
yeah.
yeah,
Rick
True.
Moranis is in Spaceballs. John Candy is in Spaceballs. Like they have like,
yeah.
there's some real craftsmanship behind that. And there's not that there's not craftsmanship here. It's just, look, I'm bitching way too much about this low budget movie to make any sense really. I mean, they took a swing at this thing, and for
Yes.
me, it was just way too, just too like didn't have the it didn't have the ability to stick the landing at all.
Mm-hmm.
But that's
Yeah.
it could I'm not going to go full Michael and Scorsese and Scooby Doo 3 this thing. I just won't do it.
I am sort of interested in seeing what Steve Kostanski will do next, because the last movie he did with was The Void, which is
Oh.
also kind of a pretty good movie that I think is pretty good, but a very different pretty good movie that is pretty good.
Right.
Like,
Yeah.
For the Kill Donkeys, The Void is like it's like a Lovecraftian thing.
yes.
Yeah.
And I think The Void is a lot better than this.
Yes.
I
think
agree.
I think it's because like it's more of an actual
Movie.
film. It's more of it's not just a parody. It's not like
Yes.
a Saturday Night Live Mighty Morphin Power Rangers sketch
Yeah.
that's gone on too long. It's like
Yeah.
it has there's more to it. But
Yeah.
I think he is. I would put him in the interesting filmmaker camp. Motherfucker's got a ton to learn because like his setups are bad. Like from like a filmmaking perspective, not strong. That's something where he could really improve. Like he's obviously got
Yeah.
he's got a sense of humor and he's got special effects. But if he could improve his what he's actually doing, it would be beautiful.
That makes. I didn't even realize he was the guy who did The Void, which I liked a lot of parts of that, but it was similar where it was just like, this has good elements, but it just wasn't captured right or something. Like it just isn't working. And
honestly, it's just weird to say for a guy who's finishing a multi-million-dollar film or raising all this money and making a movie, which making a movie is so fucking hard.
Yeah,
I have so much respect for people who can get that done, but put a little more thought into your shit, man.
True.
Like you're building these amazing fucking outfits and stuff. Like maybe make this fight scene interesting. Maybe don't cut it to shreds. Maybe maybe it work on that. If this was an actual fucking movie as opposed to a series of sight gags, I think he'd have something. If there was he really could. Maybe he needs a writer. I really don't know.
Let's punch it up.
Ooh.
What is the way to make this movie story-wise better? Because right now the story is essentially, not much. Like the story is,
it's like a boy and his dog.
Yes,
boy and his dog meets E.T. meets Kamen Rider.
Yeah.
He-Man, Master of the Universe.
Yeah. E.T./He-Man. I think E.T./He-Man is probably the best way to put it. Sure. But how do you, is it merely a performance thing? Like, if there were a bunch of really good performances, would this be obviously it would be a much better movie, but would that sell it for you, Michael?
I think it would have to, I don't know. I think you'd have to get some really good writers to restructure the thing. And yeah, better performances for
Michael,
sure.
Michael, you're a really good writer. What are you doing to restructure it? I mean this seriously. Like, what is the way out of the hole?
That's tough. I would take out a lot of the gags and like kind of what John was saying. Like, just stick with like one idea, not like try to do a million. What's another thing we saw 10,000 years ago that we can call and bring it back? Like, I'm just so sick of that. Like, it's just hollow. Like, Stranger Things is hollow, but at least it looks good. I think I like Stranger Things more than this. But, which is saying a lot. I don't like it.
I probably like them exactly the same. They're like just sweet enough to make it kind of palatable, but then like no nutritional value.
Yeah.
Just fucking loses.
Yeah, how do we get meat? Maybe better characters. Yeah. Just different let's scrap all the characters that are in this movie.
Okay, what are your characters? This is
maybe the dad's the main character.
Make Psycho Goreman 2. It's just a remake of Psycho Goreman, but it's written by us. Who are the characters?
Maybe the dad is the main guy.
Oh, yes.
I'd put Gary Busey from Silver Bullet in there.
As Psycho Goreman?
Sure. Then they could just be Gary Busey from Right Now. Like, very terrifying visage.
So the dad, he's digging in the backyard. His wife is like, get out there and put up the fence. The fence keeps falling down. He's like, fucking okay. And he's digging, trying to put the post hole in there. And he hits
then like the fucking Psycho Goreman is like a laziness golem for the dad.
Yeah, there you go.
And he's the resent for his wife.
Ooh. The kidney stone.
Fully externalized.
Yeah.
Oh,
I like it.
I
think this is way
Instead
more
of making it, about just like, well, through love, and I get it. They were having a laugh at that notion.
Yeah.
But make it. Yeah. Let's get Cronenbergian. Let's make it. Let's seriously make it about divorce.
Yeah, that would be great.
Or about your sibling.
I'm fucking lazy. Well, I'm not. Ooh, maybe Psycho Goreman does a bunch of shit. Like, he's fixing the fence. He goes to the store. He puts out the trash. But he does it very angrily, like smashes the trash on the sidewalk.
I feel like this movie was going for like a Gremlins type feel.
Yeah.
And just didn't take the time and care to get there.
Yeah.
I could have liked this movie. It just didn't get there.
I think
I totally understand why somebody would like it, because plenty of like cool visuals and it's a laugh a fucking minute. If that's your thing. But it's just not my thing.
Well, yeah, the way it missed, it kind of felt like the disappointment I had for like Krampus or something, where I was like, okay, this could be cool. Like, all I saw was a poster for this before I saw it. I was like, okay, maybe there will be, something great, and then it just kind of fell flat for me. That one really did.
Yes. I mean, the thing that sells something like Gremlins, which actually, this is a very good comparison because it's just a lot of rubber.
Yeah.
Just a lot of rubber shit. I think.
And fucking gags, man. Gags of Kimbo.
Yeah.
Gremlins gags are much better. I mean, there's no comparison to Gremlins. But
maybe Gremlins 2.
Yes.
Oh, I agree. I watched it recently. Yeah. It's great. I love it.
I like Gremlins too. So
that's awesome.
Let's change this into a Gremlins 2 podcast.
Yes.
Dick.
Dick Miller should be in this movie.
Ooh.
Oh my God, Dick Miller would be fucking amazing in this movie. He's still alive. And also Joe Dante.
What?
Wait, no, he just died last year, didn't
No, Joe Dante is not dead.
he? No, Dick Miller just died recently. Right?
Oh, okay.
Did he? Now I'm not sure.
I don't fucking know. Joe
I
Dante
got
is
no
not
clue.
dead.
Joe Dante could have directed this movie. Why didn't Joe Dante direct this movie? God damn it.
No clue.
Too busy podcasting.
Yeah, that's more lucrative than making movies these days. Just right.
Yeah.
Man,
I don't think you can be a white male and not have a podcast.
No,
I don't think it's possible.
what a nightmare.
Yeah.
You know what is not a nightmare though? Every single episode of this podcast. We love doing every episode. And what is important to us more than anything right now is what the fuck movie are we gonna watch next?
I don't know.
We watched Psycho Goreman because the people demanded it.
Mike,
what
do
is
you have
next?
any? Do you have any to throw out there?
Any movie ideas?
Yeah.
Oof.
We're gonna put Possessor on there because people keep asking for Possessor. Nobody votes for it, but they keep asking for it. I don't know how the fuck that
Ain't
happens.
that just the hipster thing to do?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Could you do Possessor? But no one. It's like 10% every time.
I'm gonna watch this Miyazaki documentary, but I doubt we want to do
put that motherfucker on there.
What is it?
Miyazaki documentary.
Forget what it's called. It's on HBO Max, baby.
Can you review a doc? I mean, I know you can review
Yeah.
documentaries, but can we review a documentary?
Probably
I
wouldn't
can
work.
review a documentary to the point where my already villainous nature will truly come to like its ultimate, most awful form.
Really?
Because I get very irritated with people being like, "Man, that documentary fucking rules," and I'm like, "No, dude, that movie sucked shit. That was an interesting subject,
Mm-hmm.
but the way that they did it and the way they
Did
decided
not
to tell
work.
that story was false and shitty. You just really like hearing about that subject. Don't get it twisted."
Yeah.
And that's probably what I'll end up doing.
You talking about Hoop Games?
Hoop Dreams is a great
Hoop
film.
Dreams.
Don't do that.
JK.
Don't bring up
Sorry.
one of the greatest documentaries. I'm really talking about like every Alex Gibney documentary,
Oh.
which are just he's like a processing plant of information. It's fine. People need to learn this shit. It's a good.
Yeah.
He's doing the world a service, but his filmmaking technique is like very dated and hard to handle.
Yes, it's just lots of heads.
I think Ken Burns. We should watch a Ken Burns
You
documentary.
This is what happens when you ask Michael a serious question. He's like, "Oh, what if we watch the?"
This is how we got Scooby-Doo 2.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Don't ask me.
All right, well, I'm definitely putting Possessor in.
Paddington.
I fucking knew it.
Did you say Paddington?
Yeah.
Paddington.
1 or 2?
Oh. Well,
Have you guys
John's.
done one of them?
No.
You've
We
done none
never
of them
did.
on the podcast.
We need to do all
Put
of them.
Paddington on there.
Okay, we're gonna put a Paddington on there.
We gotta
Possessor,
start with
Paddington.
the first.
Okay, let's do
'Cause
Possessor
John's
and
gotta
Paddington
see it
1 are
first.
on the list. Are there any hot new things that we need to talk about?
Ooh, are there any new
talked about
movies?
Judas and the Black Messiah, but it's
Put it
almost
on there.
the end of Black History Month, so we don't have we don't have to.
Oh, good point. Thank you.
JK, no, we actually can. JK, it's going on there.
Get out.
No one ever votes for that one either, which is
telling
not-
of
we're not
our fan base.
you're racist.
Yeah.
You guys. Killed off.
You guys are racist. And also, I don't know. I think we'll do an other.
Release the Snyder Cut!
Ugh,
It's not out yet, dude.
never.
We could just do regular Justice League. I'm not putting that on there.
I
We're
might-
gonna do an other so that the people can truly have their voice heard.
This could be the first time I just intentionally miss the podcast if we ever watch that.
Snyder Cut?
despise him and
You
everything he
despise
stands
Snyder
for.
himself?
Yeah.
The person?
Yeah.
The person actually doesn't seem that bad. That seems like
Um,
one of the okay things
Yeah.
with Snyder.
Yeah.
He bad.
Anytime we would tour with like the worst band of all time, it would always be the nicest fucking guys in the world.
Yeah.
You feel so sick for hating their music so much you didn't even want to live anymore. And you feel really bad that they were such great guys. You'd be playing ping pong with this guy and be like, "You are the worst singer who ever lived." Yeah. But you were so fun to play ping pong with.
Oh, that stinks.
Snyder would be great
Zack
at
Snyder.
Snyder. Actually, Snyder would be just slightly less good than you at ping pong, so that you would like always win, and then you'd almost feel kind of bad, and you would start to lose a little bit to so that you guys can still be pros. That's how great Zack Snyder is.
Yes.
But we're never gonna watch this. No, we might. So if you're on the internet, go over to Food Court Cast.
Please
cast your vote for which your favorite movie is, and force us to watch a movie next week. If you're listening on your iTunes or your favorite podcast app, give us a wonderful review. Right? Like, oh, you don't like Psycho Goreman? Well, I don't like you, but still give us 5 stars. You can say
absolutely
any mean shit you want to, but you must have 5 stars. That is essential.
Actually, Michael and I knew we were wrong about this movie. We had a conversation before we even had this conversation. I had to call Michael and psych him up and be like, dude, I know you didn't like this fucking movie. and I know I didn't like this fucking movie. And I know we're both afraid to tell people that we didn't like this fucking movie.
Never be
We're gonna do it.
Look,
we're gonna do it. We're gonna be joyless bastards, and we're gonna do it.
I don't like being the bad guy, but sometimes
you are not good at being Psycho Goreman.
No, I'm not. It doesn't feel good.
And John, this is the beautiful thing about opinions, is that if a man like Chad, who truly loves this movie, is affected by your opinion, then he doesn't love the movie.
That's true.
But if I love Speed Racer.
Now Chad Ryden is emboldened.
Yes,
the donkeys are emboldened.
Oh, now Chad's gonna storm the capital of Psycho Goreman.
He's gonna storm the food court.
Yes. Oh,
wearing horns.
Yes. He's gonna destroy the Panda Express.
Yeah. Oh my gosh,
They will not replace us. They will not replace us.
That would be a national disaster, or whatever that's called.
There would only be 575 locations left.
Tugboat.
Yes.
I haven't been there in probably 2 years.
We're going back whenever it opens. We're going right back.
Day one.
You're still on the internet, by the way. You're on the internet. You've typed a wonderful review for us. You've given us 5 stars. Follow us on Instagram podcast, and also just tweet at us. Say, hey, what's going on? On behalf of the beautiful John Burr and the lovely Michael Hampton, I am Sean Parrott.
Mm-hmm.
Bon appetit.